So when No Man's Sky launched, I played it for a few hours, then sat on my desk like, what the hell is this garbage? It was empty, lonely, missing so many of the promised features. I deleted it and just moved on. But man, looking at this game now, I did not expect that No Man's Sky would be one of my favorite games in 2025. Maybe this could be like a little review in progress or something like that. So I started off the game and it was similar to how I remember. You wake up and you go on this sequence of finding out the basics of the game, like using your scanner, your jetpack, and repairing your ship, and I thought that was all cool, that was pretty good. Nice little tutorial. What I loved about it though was how slow the opening sequence was. It forced me to kind of just sit back and listen to the sound design of the game, take in the scenery, which by the way, I don't know if you always start on a nice paradise planet, but my ass was sent into some scorching planet, so I was sweating. It was cool though. Each small step was advancing to something greater, and I love that feeling. Fixing one part of the ship, learning a blueprint for a solar panel or something like that to power up a portal. It had all functional meaning to why I was doing it, and not like some MMO quest where it's like, go gather 10 hide and bring it back to me and then I'll go, send you to pick some berries. Why? But no, every material has a purpose. Every item, ingredient, or material serves another mechanic. And the longer I played, the more I started to appreciate those little steps. Fixing one part of the ship, gathering just enough ferrite to build something small, scanning creatures for a little payout, and then that moment when you finally repair your ship and you lift off into space and you see all those stars, it hits you. And it hits harder too because of the slow burn leading up to it. And it made me realize though, not every game session needs to be about speed or grinding or some perfect strategy. And I get it, that's a lot of people like to play that way, but sometimes progress isn't something that you can see right away. It's not a big flashy achievement. It's the quiet, invisible steps that slowly build into something meaningful over time. But man, this made me realize something that I knew as a kid, but somewhere along my life I forgot. And that is, games are not only about patience, it's also about wonder. And No Man's Sky has this way of making you feel small in the best possible sense. You lift off into orbit, and then you suddenly see the horizon stretch on forever. You open up the galaxy map and there are millions of stars, each one of them one place that you can go. And that sense of scale does something to you. It makes you realize how much there is left to discover, not just in the game, but in the way you look at it, or maybe life. Every planet could hold a surprise. Every jump could take you somewhere completely different. And after a while, you stop asking, what's the fastest way forward? And you start asking, what's out there waiting for me? No Man's Sky gave me back that childlike feeling of exploration. That same spark I felt when I picked up a controller for the first time. Except this time, it's infinite. The more I played the game, the more I realized that No Man's Sky isn't just a story about exploration. It's also a story about persistence. Not just mine, but the developers. Most games that stumble at launch either vanish or get re-released later with a price tag attached. But, Hello Games did something almost unheard of. They stuck with it. Year after year, update after update, all for free. They didn't drown the game in microtransactions or battle passes or anything like that. They just kept building quietly, steadily, like they believed in the vision even when everyone else had written them off. And there's something almost inspiring about that, because in a way their journey mirrors the game itself. Just like you patch your ship piece by piece until it could fly, they patched their game piece by piece until it could soar. And soar it has, because man, this game has impressed me. The settlement feature, commanding your own fleet, the mech suit, half of these things I didn't even know you could do, but it was a nice surprise. One of my favorite things so far has been the settlement feature and becoming the overseer. I get to decide the fate of small settlements. The settlement I found was in shambles and I had to build facilities and accept people in there that would benefit it, and I thought that was pretty awesome. It was like a small home village between the millions of stars that I could always come back to and see improvement day after day. Another thing I didn't expect to enjoy as much as I did were the frigates. Building up a fleet and sending them out on a mission felt like a whole other layer of progression I hadn't seen in a game like this before. You dispatch them into the unknown, and hours later you're reading through their logs, finding out what they, found and fought, and what resources they brought back and all that. And I thought that was really cool. There's some nice little stories in there sometimes. It's like you're running your own little galactic operation, even while you're doing off something completely different. And then there's the mech suit. And I'll be honest, the first time I summoned it, I grinned like a kid. It was clunky, it's awkward, but stomping around in your own mech on some alien planet just never stops being fun. It makes the universe feel that much more playful. Those features though, those settlements and the fleets and the mech, they weren't part of the game at first, many years ago. What is it, like 10 years now? But discovering them piece by piece, like a surprise hidden in the stars, made the whole experience feel alive. And it wasn't just a game I came back to, it was a game that kept giving me reasons to stay. And that's what makes No Man's Sky special to me. It taught me patience, it rekindled my sense of wonder, it showed me what persistence from both players and developers can build, and it surprised me with systems that felt like little gifts waiting to be found. And I'm sure there's still many more. This game started out as one of the biggest disappointments in modern gaming, but now, years later, it's become one of the most meaningful experiences that I've had. Not because it's flawless, there's a bunch of bugs by the way, but because it grew, and in that growth, it's changed me too. So yeah, No Man's Sky has changed me, and if you've been away for it for years like I have, then maybe it'll change you too. So, if you guys are ever out there and you see a planet discovered by Final Bout, leave some kind of, something there that I can click back at. And, while you guys are out there in the stars, I'll be managing my little settlement, watching it grow day by day, like the game has grown itself. And I'll see you on the next Final Bout.